Hi, this is Michelle with Michelle's Macarons, and today we're going to be talking about speckled macarons. So if your macarons are fine everywhere else, but they have like dark spots on them and they kind of look, yeah, like speckled eggs or something. So if that's the case, keep watching. If you haven't already, go watch this video. Make sure you're doing everything that I tell you to do step by step, and then go watch this video for the meringue and this one for the macaronage, and then I just go over more in-depth details about each one of those. Probably the reason is that you're just underbaking it. So make sure you have an oven thermometer and your oven is actually at the temperature you think it's at. If you've got an oven thermometer and you know that it is and you've got the right temperature, I would try baking it a little longer, especially if the speckledness comes also with like sunken or kind of wrinkled. That could be something to consider. Now, this is kind of a fun one because it's not that bad and sometimes I would just leave it. So if you are adding food coloring after, I add food coloring after the meringue. So I make the meringue, I make a giant batch and then split it into 5. So I will make a giant batch of meringue and fold it into like count number 40. Then I will divide it into 5 batches and then color each batch. So when I do that, I'm adding the food coloring pretty far into the process. So I'm adding the food coloring after I've added the dry ingredients and folded it for about half the time it needs to be folded. Okay, so sometimes if I didn't totally have every bit of dry ingredient mixed in and I added the food coloring, sometimes it would kind of cling to it. Or if you know how those dry pieces at the bottom, they come to the top, or if I added it before folding it. So if you make your meringue, add the dry ingredients, then add the food coloring before kind of incorporating the dry ingredients, it will like cling to the almond flour and powdered sugar and create this like speckled look, which isn't that bad, but it will, yeah, definitely kind of just surround each granule of almond flour. I don't know, it's weird. It's not that bad. It just makes it speckled. If that's happened to you, think about maybe trying to fold it a little more before adding the food coloring, or add it to your meringue, the food coloring. Because adding it after you folded it makes it a little more difficult because you have to know exactly how much food coloring to add to get your color. So when I do brown, I don't know why I still do this. I just like to control how the brown is, and like I sometimes want, like say I'm doing like a cappuccino flavor, I make my brown from blue, green, red, and yellow. So because I like to adjust like the redness and the yellow in each brown I do. So if I do cappuccino, I'm going to do more of a yellow brown. If I do like a really rich cocoa, I'll add more red to give it that warmth. So I guess it might not be as hard for you if you just have like plain food colorings you're adding in, but if you're mixing colors and you need to get a really like the shade exactly like a customer wants, I would add the food coloring earlier so you don't have to overfold because you're still trying to get the right food coloring. If you'd like, you can hit the subscribe button below and the bell next to it to be notified whenever I come out with a new video. Okay, now this could also be it. Master Elite, or the Sugar Art, makes a line called the Master Elite, and it is a powdered food coloring. That can also lead to kind of speckled shells sometimes. So if it's not mixed up enough, that's something to consider. Usually if you have speckled macarons, unless it's under baking and it's like really kind of affecting it, the other things are usually easy fixes like the food coloring. Another reason might be oily almond flour. I think we just blame everything on oily almond flour. So I don't know if that really is it, but it could be if it's more of like bigger splotches. So if you think it's oily almond flour, you could dry it out on a pan and low heat in your oven for a little bit until it doesn't feel as oily. But that would be like bigger splotches, and you would probably be getting some other problems too, like maybe wrinkled tops and sunken and stuff. Yeah, it just kind of depends on what the speckled top of your shell looks like. This probably wouldn't be considered speckled, but maybe more just like bumpy, if that's what you considered speckled. That is probably from undermixing the macaronage. So be very careful with your KitchenAid, if you have a KitchenAid, the bowl goes like this and then has like another dip or something. So you really have to get down there and under it and really get those dry ingredients out from under there, because you're probably folding the whole time around the outside and you don't even realize you're missing a whole little bit under all of that batter. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Worst case scenario is you have a couple little bumps on your macaron shells. No one's going to notice. Okay, we're just getting very particular here. If you're not already, join the Michelle's Macarons Facebook group. You can post pictures of your macarons. And if you're having any trouble, I suggest taking pictures along the way. You can even film a little video of what it looks like while you're folding, and like when you kind of let it ribbon off the spatula and say, is this right? And we'll all tell you if it's right or not and maybe what you're doing wrong. So take pictures of every step along the way. If you're still struggling with macarons, just keep posting in there. I promise you will get better and everyone will help you. You have to see some of the pictures of people when they just started. The macarons looked terrible. And now they're like the pros in the group. So just stick with it and I think I already said go to this video and just quarter the recipe. Only do a small amount, because you probably are messing up the first couple of times. So just like quarter it and do really small amounts until you get it right. Okay, and there's still a wait to get in the Facebook group. So just answer all the questions and try to be patient with us because we're going as fast as we can. Okay, and if you want to start selling your macarons or any baked goods you have and you want to start your own home bakery business, join the email list below, and I have a course called the Home Bakery Blueprint where you can work with me and I will show you step-by-step how to start or grow your own home bakery business. So if you join the email list, I will send you an email once spots for that open up. If you'd like, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and I'll put those links in the description below. Okay, check out these other macaron videos. Okay, love you, bye.